Hey everybody, let me pin this. I'm always gotta pin this little comment. As you know, I'm your host JiJi, and we are back with episode 26 of Bag Talk with JiJi. I'm really excited. I had a very eventful weekend. I did a lot this week. I went to the Black Girls in Media Mixer and Conference. Such an amazing opportunity to connect with other Black women who work in media, not just as hosts, but maybe in PR. So many different avenues in media, and it was so good to kind of connect. And through that connection, I was able to book an appearance on the podcast, and I'm really excited about it. It's in 2 weeks, so look out for that. Let me send the invite to our guest. How many times as I do this, I always seem to not get it right. Good sis Stina, who I interviewed. Make sure you check out her interview on Back Talk. She's a big media personality and host in Atlanta, and she came to New York. She stayed with me, loved it, and we tore New York up. Like, my girl got on the mic like 3 times, making her connections in New York, and it was just really beautiful that I could introduce her to kind of my world and just my connections, and she just blends in perfectly. I'm trying to convince her to move here. Because, she's outgrowing Atlanta, and it's like, it's time to take my girl on a bigger stage. Not to say she's not doing big things in Atlanta, but I'm ready to see her be global. But I'm really excited about that. Oh, I guess this here. I know this is going to jump, so I'm going to have to shift my... And I hate when it does this. Did I do it right? I hate that Instagram takes long to connect someone. Oh, it says you're unable to join. See, this is why Instagram is not reliable. Hey.
Hey,
I
hey,
it like shifts up. Here we go. What's going on?
what's going on? What's
How
going on?
are
All right.
you? You're the first artist on my show, so you gotta.
Oh, really?
I
Hey, let's
don't interview
go.
artists, but I feel like you have not just your artistry, but the content creation thing. How you merge that with your music. It's a lot we can talk about
Yes,
that
yes,
people can.
yes, that's a fact. What's going on? How you feel? How
I
you
feel
feel?
good. I had a good weekend this weekend.
Oh,
Like, I
did
was
you really?
and I'll be in my little bubble, but I finally feel like I'm getting back to my old
I'm
self, so I feel good about it.
always trying to get you out of that
I
bubble. You got
know.
left.
I'll be stressed when you call me. I'm like, oh my God, he's about to give me a lecture.
It's all for the good.
But let's talk about it. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, glad to be
Are a
here.
singer, songwriter, and a content creator. So how do you balance those different aspects of your creative identity, and like how do they influence each other?
Um, for me, I guess they kind of go hand in hand. Just being a visionary, being a storyteller. As an artist, it's kind of like you see things
Mm-hmm.
already. So, with me just putting content together, it's kind of like, I just see it, I piece it together, and boom, it just creates its own marriage. So it kind of make it easy for me.
Mm-hmm. Did the music came first before the
Oh,
content
definitely.
creation?
The content creation came like way down the line.
So at
You know
what
what I
point
mean?
did you realize, I can kind of use social media to like further my brand? Like, where did that come from?
I don't know. I guess seeing other people do it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember having a camera for a long time and trying to get people to film me, and nobody would film me. And
Well, why?
I just started seeing people, put it on tripods and do other kinds of stuff. So, let me just try it, and it started working out for me. And then it just boom. You know what I
I
mean?
you doing music though? Like, you just was born to
Yeah.
sing?
Music is my gift from God. So, from growing up singing in choirs, singing in plays at
A choir
school.
boy?
Yeah, I was a choir boy. But what's crazy? I was shy. So, I guess I used to hum and people used to be like, oh, yeah, you can sing. And I was like, no, I can't. I was trying to do everything other than sing. I was trying to rap. I was trying to be a comedian, play instruments. So I guess I used to hum and people were like, yeah, you can sing. And I was like, I can't sing. And then when I got in the choir, from the choir being in the background, they start pushing me to lead. I was like, you know what? I think I can sing. And then it just came.
Did you have any like setbacks when you were younger and you're like, I don't want to do music, or you just always knew this is what you wanted to do?
I think it's always something I knew. I ain't gonna say singing was something I always knew I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to be an entertainer from watching Michael Jackson and the Bobby Browns and just the dancing and the entertainment aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing my sister being young. She wasn't an entertainer, but she could sing.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw her perform at like a school talent show, and the standing ovation she got, I was like, I gotta have that. I didn't know how I was gonna get it or none of that, but then I started dancing, I started singing, and then it just came
You
naturally. So
mentioned Michael and Bobby. Yeah, that was like the first two names you piped out. Those like your biggest influences.
yeah, because people don't know I could dance,
I
that's
didn't
but
know
that was like my
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What
So
you be like flexing? Like,
yeah, I do a little shout shout.
why all the muscular dudes always want to flex? What is that? What's that?
Yeah,
The
that's
Terry
crazy.
effect?
I don't know, man. But yeah, man, just just having showmanship on stage, being able to perform, and then just give the audience what they want, pretty much.
What's your ultimate goal? Because you're independent. Do you want to stay independent and probably get like a distribution deal, or you're like hoping to get like signed to a label?
I guess stay independent for right now, just to see what the future holds. You never know. My goal is to build myself up to where if I do sign with the label or something like that, I'm able to partner with them, then versus just giving them full capacity over my creative art.
Mm-hmm.
I hear too many stories about what happens when you deliver yourself as a whole entity to these record companies, and then you left with nothing. So I would love to be in control of my own art. So if I could just build enough fan base to be able to do what I need to do, then you really don't need the label, in my opinion. So, and that's really what it's about to me.
I feel that way too. I feel like if you're already doing it on your own, the only thing a label could do for me is like give me the money to probably, I guess,
Right,
make
right, right, right,
bigger
right, right,
to travel. Like,
right,
you know,
right, right,
want to use that money and not really my own.
right, right. And even learning about, I know labels can put you in other territories that you probably can't put yourself in. So
Right.
even from that aspect, yeah. So the biggest I can go is cool, but like I said, if I could just make enough to make a living for myself with my art and don't got to work, I'm cool with
Right.
that.
You're
Right.
from, I know you're from upstate. You're from Albany?
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah,
Oops.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
for
yeah,
Buffalo.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know nothing about Buffalo. Has any live growing up there, has that had any influence on who you are and your music?
Yeah, we got big artists. Back then it was Rick James. I think Rick
We just
James. You got
from New York?
yeah, you got Brian McKnight. Yeah, Brian McKnight is from Buffalo. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
It's,
didn't know that.
you know what's crazy about Buffalo? We got a lot of hidden gems that a lot of people don't know about. It's just a city that's not, it's not New York, New York. I remember being like 15, 16, going to New York City for the first time, and it was like, oh, this is different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, while the South or Southerners and stuff like that might think Buffalo is New York, New York, you know what I'm saying? To New York, they like, nah, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, yeah. Right now we got Benny the Butcher, we got West Side Gun, we got 38 Special. So we have come into the light now, versus having the what's his name, the Brian McKnight
Mm-hmm.
and the Rick James. So we here now, we
You
here.
feel like, because I know you recently moved. I'm not gonna say where. I don't know if you got stalkers, but what was the reason for moving out? Is it because you want to get more opportunities, or you feel like maybe you outgrowing your city a bit?
Yeah, our city is one of them cities where you got to grow from the outside in. It's not a city where you can grow inside out because again, it's no one's coming to Buffalo to check for people. You know what I mean? So you got to go to New York City. You got to go to Atlanta. You have to go to a Cali or something like that just to get recognized. Then you bring it back home. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's just what it is.
I feel like not just Buffalo. I think New York in general. I see so many artists leave, get big, and then come back and try to remake a name for themselves. And I
Right,
don't know what it is with New York, and it never used to be like this in the music industry. I
right.
know it's because it's oversaturated, or it's like drill music is killing everything,
Drill music
or
is
the
is taking over.
competition. But I
Yeah.
just feel like you should be able to make a name in your hometown. People support you. I hate
Right,
that
right, right,
like you
right.
have to leave and then
Right.
you come back when you're already big and
Well, you know what
popular.
it is, when you come from a smaller city, people do support you. So it's like, it's not like you can't create a fan base, but they don't know where to deliver you after that. If there's no record labels, if radio really not playing you, or, if there's no major DJ. So you kind of got to show them by stepping outside of the box or stepping out to another city to say, okay, yeah, I can make it, because you are, you're just more likely to meet the bigger DJs, the bigger producers,
Mm-hmm.
being in bigger studios. So that's really what it's about.
Have you
You definitely grow.
meet those people?
Say that
Have you
again.
been able to meet those people, like the big names that you've been looking to work for?
Oh yeah. So
Music.
some of them, yeah, some of them. I've opened for a lot of different artists too. So having the opportunity
What
to do
about that?
that, yeah, yeah.
How did that happen? You reached out to people like, can I open for you his
I,
sample of my music?
having a manager at the time that was kind of plugged in, that wouldn't take no for an answer, and then just the talent itself. We were good enough to. I was in a group back then, so we was good enough to be able to, seize those moments.
You in a
Yeah,
group?
yeah, I
I
was
hope
in a
you
group.
live many lives.
I've been doing this for a minute. Yeah, I've been doing this for a minute.
What are some
Yeah.
things you've learned since you've been kind of involved in this for a very long time?
Um, what's some things I've learned? To just work hard, don't take no for an
Mm-hmm.
answer. You get a lot of people that tell you that may not know, your vision, that you can't make it or you can't do it. So you gotta tune that stuff out and just be able to just keep going and believing in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What may be for one person, somebody else might love it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like just stay in your lane and do what you do, basically. So as long as you're in your lane, you're almost
Right.
untouchable. Right.
Okay, like you do a very good job of bridging, kind of being a content creator with your music. And
Right.
you're big on TikTok, you're big on Instagram. And the crazy, that's how we met was on
Right. Right.
TikTok.
Right.
Both platforms have different audiences. How do you tailor your content for each to make sure you're still hitting your goals?
It's crazy. I'm actually still learning. So I really don't have no set formula. I just know that the goal for me is kind of to make content that's going to be shareable. So I don't put focus on the likes. I don't put focus on the views. I put focus on, okay, is this content going to make somebody want to share it with a friend, or is this content going to be something that somebody going to want to save and come back to?
Mm-hmm.
So, but all in all, I really don't have no set formula for it. Honestly, I just try to create.
Right.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll put the same stuff on TikTok, on my Instagram.
Right.
And then when I realize I have like two different, not personas, but there's two versions on me on the apps.
Right. Right. Right.
Some of the stuff I put on TikTok, I can't put on my Instagram because
Right.
they
Right. Right.
as very corporate, very
That's a fact.
professional. So if I
That's a
try to
fact.
put some of the stuff up there, it's like, girl, this is not you. It's like, it is me. I'm just speaking freely.
I think TikTok is more for, like, your talk stuff. How can I say?
It's like
Yeah.
fun.
It's more like just your regular stuff. It's like your personality
Mm-hmm.
versus Instagram is more like, or Facebook is more like your more creative stuff.
The
You could
aesthetic
kind
of
of,
the brand.
yeah, skits and, just, I don't know. I know it's kind of different. I'm still kind of learning that side of it. But as of right now, I just go, man. I just, hopefully somebody like it, and then it just goes from
They
there.
like it. I'll be seeing your comments.
Yeah. All right.
So you mentioned you have a manager now.
No, I don't.
No.
No.
Okay, so I interviewed someone who's in artist management, and I would love to talk about on the other side of being the artist. Like, how are you seeking managers? What are you looking for? And what kind of relationship that you want to have with a manager to now
Um,
don't have one?
I would love to have management that knows the game. Like I said, I have a strong work ethic, so if I was to get a manager, they would never have no problem with me pushing out content, being in studio. I'm not looking for somebody to put dollars into me. I'm just looking for somebody, if I could, to just take me to the next level. Get me to a PR person, get me. Let's seek out interviews and bloggers to get the music heard. So anybody that can get my music heard to the masses, I'm all for it, because I'm going to give you everything that you need. I'm a role player. So you play your role, I'm going to play my role and get you all the music you need, everything you need. So,
You
but
just
just
want,
trying to find a manager that could do that.
mhm. You just want someone with the
Somebody
experience because like I can do it.
with the experience, yeah. Somebody with the experience, yeah. Because I'm a polished artist, so you don't got to develop me. Yeah, you ain't got to develop me. We ain't no artist development.
Wait, so why don't you have a manager now? Like, did it not work out or?
I, I mean, I have people, I have family members and stuff that does stuff for me, that still do stuff for me. So I kind of got people in place, but just nothing set in stone as far as like, okay, we about to ride this thing out. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but I do got people that help out and assist as, managers and stuff like that. But an official manager, industry ready, that can get me to somebody, I don't have that.
How important is support for you? Because I see so many artists complain that all my friends and my family don't play my music. They don't like my stuff. They don't share. They don't comment, and they use it kind of like a crutch on why
Right,
they.
right, right. It used to be a lonely place, but again, I just developed this thing where just go, because the good thing about social media is that you don't got to depend on those or rely on those people no more. You know, you can grow. The internet made the world small, so let the strangers support you. You know, it's the world is so big. Like we got all these other countries that we don't even seek out or already don't even think about. Like you got, you know, China, Africa, like look at Afrobeat and look where music is going. So you tap into these other regions, man, these people are gonna support you over there. So it's kind of like finding how can I say it? It's kind of like finding that's what I'm looking for. Not a niche, a market, like a target market for yourself. So I'm R&B, right? So I know, how could I say this? I'm lost for words here.
Take your time. We got time.
Yeah. I'm trying to see how could I say it. It's really just finding a market for yourself, really. You know what I mean? And finding people that support what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because you rap, you might have family, you know, friends and family that don't support rap or don't like rap. So you got to find the people that's into what you're doing, and then they're gonna come.
The support.
Friends and family is gonna come later. Once you blown up and all that kind of stuff, they're gonna come. Oh yeah, I got you. You know what I mean? So I just let the world just find me, and whoever want to support me, they support me. You know, I don't let it stop me.
I really love like your positivity on things and also how consistent you are. So this is probably a two-part question. One,
Mm-hmm.
what are the conversations you have with yourself when maybe you're not motivated to put content out, you're not motivated to write, you're not motivated to perform? Like, what are you saying to yourself?
I say to myself, bro, you gotta get up. You know, you gotta keep moving. You got people that's believing in you. You know, you got people that's counting on you. So I always go back to what got me started, and I always remember what, you know, just what's my motivation behind what it is that I'm doing. And once I get back to that, it just give me my wheels and my fire again. Yeah, so because it's not always easy as an artist. You know, you get distracted. You know, you go through hard times. Like again, you get people that don't believe in you. So you got to learn how to push past that and have that tenacity or that resilience to say, okay, I'm gonna just do this no matter what.
Mm.
You know,
Put it in the music.
put in the music. You know, I put it in everything I do. So I'm gonna keep going. I don't know how to stop.
And then
I don't know.
and then being consistent too. I know we've had these conversations, but I know you're like super organized.
Right.
Were you always organized, or that's something you had to learn along the way?
I was
That's like
organized to a degree, but as I've grown, I've learned that, you know, people like people that know what they want to do, you know, and I know that came with being able to be organized. So, you know, reading a lot of books, you know, following people that had that structure. So just became a structure for me, and then it just started flowing.
who are your maybe not musical artists, but who are your influences for that work ethic and that structure that kind of gives you that mind frame of I have to keep going?
Um, who can I say? TD Jakes, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin
That girl.
Hart. Yeah, Kevin Hart, man. Anybody that you know, I listen to a lot of podcasts where I listen to people's success stories and how they made it. So that it influences me a lot. It lets me know, excuse me, that it was somebody that was once like you. You know, I follow anybody that was once like me. You know, and it don't got to be the same niche, the same genre, or the same field that I'm playing in. You know,
Right.
from Michael Jordan to the Kobe Bryant's, like reading their stories to say that, hey, you know, if you want to be the best or you want to, you know, be able to keep going, you got to work out before the gym. You know, work out. No, not work out before the gym. Work out before practice, during practice, after practice. So I just take those kind of key notes and just use it as my own motivation to say, okay, you don't got a show yet, still sing. You know, you just, you know, stuff like that.
Do you do vocal trainings? Like, what kind of stuff are you doing music wise that's like educational based? So, like vocal training, dance classes, maybe songwriting classes. I don't know if they have that,
Right.
but
I don't do the dance, you know, the dance class and stuff like that. I'll dance around the house just to keep me grounded, but I don't do that. But I do my own vocal training though. You know, I do my own vocal training probably like 2 to 3 times a week. You know, whether if I go in my garage or go into a quiet place, you know, just to keep my vocals top notch. Because if you don't use it, you lose it. So, and that's a true thing. So, I remember a friend of mine telling me, "Hey, it's kind of like, you know, you got to stay in the gym." So, in other words, he was saying you got to stay utilizing what it is you have so you don't lose it, basically.
mm-hmm.
So, but vocal training is something I always do.
Were you always writing songs, or that's something that came later on?
Writing came later on. I didn't know how to express myself through the pen. You know what I mean? I remember writing, and my songs was coming out horrible. And a friend of mine was like, "How did he put it to me?" He said, "If you talking about love, you don't got to say love so much. Just write around it, and people know what it is." So, and then I just started like picking up concepts. Like, okay, what's a good concept? I know a lot of pop songs do it, like the Katy Perry's with like what's that song she had? Dang.
What, Kiss the Girl?
No, not that.
That's sad. That's a Katy Perry song.
Thing was that man, something about explosions or something.
But
So let me think it.
the tiger. Is that her?
Yeah, it's kind of like the best word to use is metaphors. I learned how to use metaphors instead of just sticking to what it is to make the song so like bland. And so once I learned the concept of metaphors, and I listen to a lot of hip hop too. So even though I'm an R&B singer, I consider myself a hip hop and R&B singer because I love hip hop too. So I combine both elements. But just storytelling, metaphors. That's it. Once I learned that, I was like, okay, now I'm ready. So
Let's talk about your creative process. I want you to break down in complete detail. Give us the secret to waking up, having a concept for a song, writing the song, get into the studio whether it's the same day or you planning that out, and then try to make your videos, your behind the scenes, the whole nine.
Right. So for me, it's always I like to start with the beat. I go through. I got a few producers that send me tracks. I listen through. Every now and then, I might have a concept or something like that, or I'll write down a concept idea. But it all starts with the beat for me. Once I get a beat, I let the beat tell me the story. Sometimes I can get it instantly, and sometimes it might take me a little while.
Mm-hmm.
From there, I go into the studio. I listen to it big. I get the jotting down. And then I record it. From the recording, I started putting together, different ways that I could tell the story visually. Unpredictable to a certain degree, but if it got to be predictable, something that's going to resonate where people can get it right away. And from there, I just create the magic.
You make it sound like it's so easy.
It's not really easy, but like I said, I just go, man. I just go. I just go.
I feel like when you're made to do something, you're passionate about it.
Right.
It's not as hard. The process of it is not hard. I think it's, especially in music, is getting your music out.
Right.
Branding, the whole getting people to believe in your art. Right. But I think the actual process of sitting down and doing it is never the hard part.
Yeah. Like you said, you hit the nail on the head. That's really the hardest part, trying to get people to follow it or try and get people to, more ears on it or more viewers on it and stuff like that. Try to get people to write about it in blogs. I think that's the harder part, but the creation for me, easy. I could do that. I do that in my sleep. Yeah.
You should have to convince people though. I feel like if you like the music, just like it. But I don't know. Like, in your opinion, do you think, because there's all that talk about R&B music dying, do you think it's harder now as opposed to if you were doing music in the 90s for people to kind of want to tap into your music?
I think it is, because sometimes you got that stigma of people saying, it's dated, or, the crazy thing about it is that you hear or you see a lot of different people writing about it online, like, damn, bring back 90s R&B or bring back R&B, da 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 da. But then when you do it, it's kind of like, it's not today's time. So it could confuse you a little bit. But the good thing about me being visionary or with today's time is kind of like you can make it seem like it was done on purpose. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? With content creation or, putting visuals and stuff together. So it's kind of like a gift and a curse at the same time. But
there's a girl on TikTok. I don't know. I think she's a singer, but she has like this one song, and she has made so many different like videos promoting the song. But all the videos are like 90s inspired. Right. I don't know if you've seen it. You know what I'm talking about?
No, who is that? What's her name?
Listen, when I find her, I'm gonna send it to you. But she did like a concept to like the Taina show. Okay. Moesha, right. 101. Like she remade intros to 90s shows, but it uses her music.
Right. But see, that's what I'm talking about. You can make it seem like it was purposely done to make people say, "Oh, okay, I get it." You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to tap into now. Trying to make it like, okay, it got a 90s feel or older feel, which people want that back. but it's kind of like, how could you get that back? So I think visually, that's a way to tap back into it.
I don't even think it's because I know every ever has like its time, so I don't want people to remake '90s, but the
Yeah,
feeling, remake the
the feeling. It's
yeah.
the feeling of love, the feeling of baby making music. Like, there's no real baby making music right now,
No,
and stuff
it's
like that.
FUCKING
Yeah,
music,
you did,
or
what I'm
it's
saying?
just about things that I don't care
Right,
about. Like I listen to
right.
and I just
Everything is rough. Everything rough. Everything is, man.
or
So,
men don't want to talk about being in love because now you look like a simp because you want to be a manly man. It's just like what happened to the open arms music when they be singing with their arms out
and they
like
know that's what they're doing behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like everybody rich in the music industry right now too. Like, it's no more poor people. It's no, like, everybody got Lambos and all these. Nah, I don't see it where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? So I just dumbed it down. I got back to, being real with myself to say, bro, just be who you are. Like, and then for me, it allows people to see your progression. If you come in rich already, where else do you got to go? So you just dumb it down. You just stay true to what it is and let people feel. And then again, the people that's into what you do or what you create, they're gonna come. It's not like forcing it. You don't gotta force it.
exactly.
So don't force
So
nothing.
the men to be begging again, baby, please.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I'm gonna be begging, but I will definitely tell
I'm
somebody
gonna
to
ask
beg.
you 2 or 3 times
I'm a
and then
dancer
stop.
tell you to move them panties to the side.
Have you ever
Right.
had like an embarrassing moment in the studio?
I had an embarrassing moment in the studio. I
Like your
won't say
and a vagina walking.
embarrassing, but I have had some bad things, like losing my voice, or I get bad allergies. I get seasonal allergies. So I remember a critical moment where we had to get a project done, and I couldn't get my vocals clean for nothing, and I just had to go with it. You know what I mean? So the vocals, to me, I'm a critic of myself, so I'm a perfectionist. So if it don't come out a certain type of way, it's kind of like, nah. And they was like, nah, we gotta go with it, we gotta go. And I was like,
Wait, they
so
still it?
yeah,
It's out?
yeah, but
I'm about to
but
look.
nobody can really
I'm
tell.
about
Yeah,
to look at
I got a few.
see. I'm gonna tell.
So, but I can't say I had no real bad experiences in the studio. No. Now, show wise, I have.
We'll talk about that. You ever been booed?
No, yes, I have. I have been booked. Not as a solo artist, but definitely as a group artist at the Apollo in Harlem.
You
Yeah,
were, oh wait, rewind because
yeah,
you said you
yeah,
now
yeah,
you got to break down the whole group thing and then go
yeah,
into
yeah.
whose
Got
idea
booked.
was it to go in a group? It was yours. Like who created it?
Old manager of mine in my old neighborhood put us all together. And it's crazy because we put a new person in the group to go to the Apollo. No, actually, we won like 3 times. The fourth time that we won, we added a new member to the group, and a new member just choked, and then boom, we got Sandman came out.
Wait, how old are you? Because you talk about the Apollo.
Yeah,
I thought we.
yeah. I'm up there.
Wait, you say you're 38?
Hmm.
You are? I thought we was the same age.
Oh,
Yeah,
how old are you?
I'm
Oh,
31.
oh my gosh, good green. You
I'm up
31?
there too. Because you talk about the Apollo. I'm like, they still do the Apollo?
No,
Like,
no,
what?
This was like years ago. This is years and
Who
years
was the
ago.
host? Was Steve Harvey the host at that time?
No, it was some other guy.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I think he was a comedian too.
Uh-huh. I think I know who you're talking about. I forget his name now.
God, I forgot his name. I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name.
So you like being a group better or you like being solo better?
I like being solo better. I like solo.
Because you don't have to
Solo
share.
better. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. But I can do my own thing. You know what I mean? I just do my own thing. I like it that way.
So let's talk about visibility versus authenticity. So being that you're a content creator, how important is it for you to go viral to the point where maybe your content is not showing your authentic self?
I don't focus on viral. I
Mm.
don't focus on viral because the weirdest thing about the videos that went viral for me wasn't even planned. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So yeah, it was just like it's kind of like, if there's anybody watching, if the stuff that I tried to make go viral didn't even do no numbers at all, then the stuff I just threw up there was like, how the fuck did that even get? You know what I mean? So once I saw that, I was like, it made me really be myself. It's kind of like, I mean, not that I wasn't myself with the other stuff, but again, it showed me you don't have to force anything. You know what I mean? Just do what you do. Kind of like what I be telling you about, yo, just do you kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like, it's like that thing. You know what I mean? It's like, just do your everyday stuff, whether if it's singing, whether if it's, just being who you are, and the world is gonna come. So I don't put no emphasis, no focus on going viral. Like I said, if I do, it's just what could I do that's gonna make people say I want to share this and I want to save this.
Right.
But viral, nah, that's not no
I
thing
feel
of
like
mine.
when I get in my head a lot because like you, I'm a perfectionist, so
Right.
I try to like control every aspect of everything I'm doing to the point where it would make me talk myself into not even doing it anymore. Like I stress my
Right.
own self out, and I'm just like,
Right.
I'm
Right.
gonna do it. And
Right.
I hate that about me because it's like this is never gonna be perfect. Just put it out
Yeah.
there, like.
Yeah, nothing's gonna be perfect. I had to learn that too, thinking that everything had to be a certain way. You had a certain camera and all this kind of stuff. But then you see other content that use way less than you, or the quality is not as good. And it's like, man, this joint went viral. This joint did numbers. So now I learned to just don't worry about what nobody gonna say. Don't get in your own way. When you got that feeling, just go ahead and go with it. Because it don't matter. Like if it's something that you do anyway, why not just throw it online and just throw it up there? And if the world gravitates to it, they will.
And then you just make it perfect next time based on
Right.
the feedback you get from the people.
Right.
We
Right.
can
Right.
trust our own feedback.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then it's kind of like throwing shots. The more shots you throw, something is going to land. And then you got so much content out there that people are going to say, you know what, let me go look at the rest of the stuff that he got.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like music for me, it's like just keep putting up songs, keep putting up songs. Eventually something's going to stick and they're going to say, what else he got? Versus never doing it. I only took one shot or three shots and they only got three songs to go check out or, three videos to go check
Right.
out. Like, nah. So, yeah.
I see a lot of
So,
artists kind of struggle with using social media as a platform. Like I have a friend who's very talented, and he like for a week he'll constantly put his music out, and then he'll go miss it for months, and then try to pop back out, and it's like, that's not gonna help. And
yeah.
I do it myself with my brand. Like I'll be promoting when I'm
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
high.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll come back to it later. But I feel like as an artist, like this is like you said, this is an opportunity where you can like for free connect with people. Like all it takes
Right,
is the person to see it.
right,
I feel like
right,
they
right.
don't take advantage of that.
I mean, again, sometimes it's hard, when you seeing people that's doing what you're doing, or sometimes it might seem like it's just so saturated. It's like, okay, well, I'm not even gonna make no dent, you know what I mean? Because everybody doing it or something like that. Or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you do get uninspired, or you might feel like, okay, well, nobody paying attention. So, I have those moments sometimes, but then again, I say I gotta kick myself back in the gear again and say, okay, it's not about you. It's about, but you will have those moments. I'm sure the people that's doing numbers might have those moments because it's almost like a rush. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't pay attention or if you don't stay grounded, you will be chasing that thing again once you get a viral hit, and you really can't do that. Nah, just do what you do.
I also feel like you have to be kind of delusional to want to operate in this industry because there's no one way to do it. There's no 5-year plan. That like anything can change at any moment, and you really have to like be delusional to want to actively do this. And I'm assuming you're doing music full time.
Here's the deal. You just gotta not be afraid.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Because it's fear. Like once you get past that fear and just believe in yourself to not care what nobody gonna say, that's when it's going to take off. That's when, and just consistency. You know what I mean? Because everything starts at zero. Nothing starts right away unless you just in the world where everybody's surrounded by you and you got the money and you can do all this kind of stuff.
You
But
know,
you
baby.
gotta start from zero, and you gotta just be consistent, and it's gonna come. So just eliminating fear, not being afraid. That's really what it is.
So with social media, and you have a lot of followers on both your platforms.
Mm-hmm.
More followers you get, I feel like it gets harder to kind of connect to your core base of the people who support your music.
That's
How do
true.
you make sure that you're putting out content and you're putting out music that connects to your fans and making sure they're still engaged and they still feel appreciated?
It's funny because I'm still kind of learning it. Sometimes I think I overwork, to where I can't really. I do engage with as far as like commenting and stuff like that, but sometimes I feel like I overwork to where I can't fully connect or fully identify with like who's into me unless they're inboxing me or, or leaving comments, that's direct messages saying, yo, I like what you're doing and stuff like that. So I'm still trying to identify with a core fan base. So even though I got the following and stuff like that, to me, I still felt like I still got to create a core fan base where I'm directly getting right to you. Like, okay, there's a new drop, there's this, that, and the third. And again, sometimes that could be the missing mode between, discouraging artists too, because you get to follow them, but when it's time to put out something, there's no purchases, there's no, but you know what I mean? So it's kind of like you got to find out what's really going on, who's really into what you're doing, so that way you can light that fire again. So that's something that I'm trying to get in tune with, really identifying well who's into my music and not just me doing content or whatever the case. So
I love that you said that, because I think so many people focus on having a lot of followers, and true,
right.
having a lot of followers what make brands want to engage with you
Mm-hmm.
more. But like, I consider myself a micro influencer, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's a good spot for me, because
Right.
the little people I do have that support me,
Mm-hmm.
they word. If
Right.
I promote something, they're gonna buy
Right.
it. If I
Right.
have a ticket for something, they're gonna buy
Right.
it.
Right.
But no
Right.
one,
Right.
people think having a bunch of followers easily translates to money, and it's like,
No, I
no,
don't.
the
No,
case.
I don't. No, I don't. I don't. It's a
Mm-hmm.
business. You gotta look at it. You gotta look at it as a business. Everybody gets swallowed up with this following and the views and this, that, and that. But when you ask them how much money they made, it's like.
Or you
So
going on live or making videos begging, because
yeah.
media beggars
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. So it's a business. You got to treat it as a business. The good thing about these platforms, if you utilize them right, you not only can you get money from the content itself, but if you got your brand, if you got merch, if you got all these other kind of things, you can use it as leverage to get other brands to rock with you and stuff like that. So you can convert it. I think we live in an age now where you can have multiple streams of income just from social media if
Mm-hmm.
it's done right. I really feel like that.
What do you
But
attribute to
you gotta
your
make money.
following growing to? Like, is it just your music? Is it your content? Is it just I'm a vibe?
um, I'll probably say it's all of it, man. It's all of it.
And being consistent too. Like, people know, I know he's gonna post something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How I got consistent was I remember I had bought this book. Damn, I wish I had it around. It's some Asian guy. Damn, what's his name? Ping. He had a weird name, Ping Jun or something like that. I'll send it to you. But he had like
We over here, y'all. We be reading
yeah.
books.
Yeah, yeah. He had like a content calendar, and he was saying like, "Yo, you gotta have like months of content." And I'm like, "How the heck you gonna have months of content?" You know what I mean? So, and then they put this. He put something in his book where he said, "You gotta post on your page, your stories, this, that, and the third." So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try and make it a habit to where if I'm not posting on my page, I'm gonna post on my stories as much as I can to kind of make it a habit to posting all the time." So once I did that, I remember just started deleting stuff off my page to rebrand, to get people to focus on exactly what it is I do. Because I was all over the place on my page. I used to get people criticizing me all the time. People don't know what you do. You sing. Da, da, da. So,
My Instagram look
but
too.
yeah, man, I used to be all over the place. So I just started deleting stuff, and I just started making it a habit to just post, 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 post. And to the naked eye, everybody probably think I post all the time, but to me, I still don't feel like I post enough. It's weird.
I schedule my posts, but then like I'll schedule a week of posts,
Right,
and then like you get a schedule on Instagram, and then I'll realize like, oh, I didn't schedule for next week. Like this week, I realized I didn't schedule
right.
nothing, and I was like, oh my god, now I gotta rewatch my interview and full content. Like no one talks about how hard it really is to like be everything, like be a one-stop shop, like doing the
Man.
work, and then also creating content is very time consuming.
Yes, 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 yes,
Like
yes, yes.
it's very hard. I don't never want to be a full-time content creator. I don't care if I'm making a lot of money. I can't see that for me.
Well, it's a way to do it. I think I might have talked to you about it before, vaguely. It's a way to do it. So if you try to do content on a day-to-day basis, it's really, really going to be hard. Just like I mentioned in the book, I feel like if you like now what I do, I just try to get footage everywhere I go with everything that I do. I don't care if it's me buying shoes, me working out, me being in the studio, all that kind of stuff. So I kind of like stock footage. So therefore, whenever there's that blockage, I feel like I don't have no content. I'll just go back to my archives and just start creating stuff out
Mm.
of that. So that way, and you'll realize you might have months and months and months of content versus just trying to do it on a day to day. Like, because sometimes we see these trends and we want to jump in these trends and stuff like that, but then that means you gotta have time for that. And I know I don't have
I
the
don't.
time to just jump in everything. Yeah.
Every
So, but I feel
time
like
I
if
open
you
TikTok,
build
it's something
content,
new.
if you build it, just build it and build. Even if you got to outsource it to have somebody edit it for you, you still got enough content. So that's the way to do it. Yeah.
Also scares me. I feel like I gotta ask somebody else to do it when I could just do it
Right.
myself.
Right. But I am a one-stop shop, man. I write the music, I go to the studio. If I don't got an engineer, I record it. I gotta make my own content. I gotta edit it. But I just grew a love and a passion for it because I know it's needed. And if I don't get me out there, nobody else is. So,
Exactly.
that's what helps me to push through.
What's some artists that you want to work with in the future?
People that's like me, visionary people. Tiana Taylor,
Come on.
Missy Elliott, Kendrick Lamar. Uh, I gotta even throw Kanye in there. I know people want to kill me, but Kanye. On the R&B side, producers and songwriters, I would have to say Tank. Um,
You would take
yeah,
some music,
yeah,
boy.
I would have to say Tank. Yeah, Tank definitely. I reached out to Tank a few times. We used to talk. We had some brief conversations in the inbox, but it never really went nowhere.
You ain't follow up? You
Huh?
ain't follow up?
No, I
Like, all
was.
right, I'm in your
I
city.
was, but I don't know if it was a payola thing. He was like, trying to get it covered up. I don't know. Sometimes you get them inbox where people be like, yo, let's work, and then it'd be a budget attached to it and
Or
stuff
it'd be
like
like
that.
they
So,
managers doing it. It's like,
yeah,
no, I want to talk to him.
yeah. So, but definitely, I think he's a phenomenal artist, phenomenal songwriter. Tiana Taylor, she's like a female version of me as far as visual artist and songwriting and just being an artist overall. And then Kendrick from the hip hop side, that dude is just
I feel like Tiana
incredible
Taylor
with his
is
voice.
accessible for you. I feel like you could run into have a conversation with her and y'all will work together.
And Missy
Yes.
is like a me too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like Missy Elliott. So,
But
yeah,
I feel like you can meet Tiana Taylor at an event and y'all can work together.
that'll be crazy.
But I feel like it
That'll
can
be,
happen. You should make that
yeah, I
happen.
can make that happen. I might have to see about that.
Like I feel like I don't know why I feel like she's accessible. I'm acting like I go places that she be at, but I just feel like she's accessible because she's always on social
Right,
media and she's always at places that's not like I would say like Jay-Z events. It's not like high
right, right,
security. She's like at like
right,
normal
right, right, right,
places
right,
where
right.
she interacts with people, not just celebrities.
When I tell you she's everything I am, and she's younger than me, but just from the creative aspect, like I was following Tiana Taylor when she was a youngin and she was wearing the kicks. I used to follow her
And
Instagram
the
because
curly hair.
everybody know I'm a sneakerhead. Like that's my thing. Sneakers, vision, videos, and music. That's just my go-to thing. So I would love to work with her and kick it about kicks and shoot some videos and write some music. Definitely. Right.
So you have a merch line.
Right.
So on top of all of this, you got the nerve to have a whole merch line. So talk a little bit about your merch line. Your merch, I said merch. Your merch line, like what inspired it, and some of the things you're trying to do with your line.
I won't call it a merch line. It's more of a brand. I'm trying to push it, create it as a brand. So my goal is to have something where, I'm older, so it's kind of like I don't want to say that I'm trying to be this big superstar. I just want to do what I love, right? But no matter if you're young or old, music ain't gonna stay with you forever. So you gotta have something else. So for me, being into fashion and being into the sneaker world and being, loving culture and community, I just want to build something that gonna last outside of music. So clothes, fashion is gonna be forever. You know what I'm saying? So my brand, my goal is to try to separate it from the music so it don't look like merch. That's why you don't see me like going with it all the time. But yeah, man, I just do a lot of research on it, man. My goal is to let me think of somebody that I'm trying to follow. Or not follow, but I follow people like Plains Crew. I follow people
Mm.
like Babe and Abe. Even Virgil. Somebody that had the longevity in the game or had some type of influence on their brand to where it met with sneakers or met it just resonated with the whole world basically. My goal is to get it to the whole world. There's a hood in every world. It's really it's called get money. So everybody in the world is going to get money, or trying to get money. and then that's just what I'm going with.
It's also like a video production thing you're trying to do with it too, right?
Right, right.
Or
So,
I mean,
so GM films, good media films, good music, kind of like I mean, it's not called good music, but you could associate GM with a lot of things: good money, good gentleman, godly man, good music, just everything. Yeah.
I feel
So,
like you're smart and wanting to create all these different lanes, using music as the outlet, but
right,
having different ways. That's not only ways you can make money, so that if you didn't want to do music anymore,
right,
take a break. You still have other avenues,
right,
but also a part of you is in everything. So it just all is like it just combines everything that's about you in a way.
right,
And
right, right, right,
I really like because I feel like people tell you can't, like, if I want to be a host, I have to just focus on hosting. I can't do
right.
anything, and I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
I feel like I should be able to focus on other
Yo,
things,
when I tell you,
but I'm still gonna do other things.
Jay, when I tell you that used to be a big dilemma with, or a big argument with me and a lot of people that used to want to manage me or work with me. They just say, "Yo, you're doing too much," and I never felt like I was doing too much. I felt like everything I was doing was me. So y'all had to, tap into what I was doing so y'all can know how to place me these different places. So I just love what I do. I love fitness. I love filming. I love music. And I think that it all ties into what it is that you're trying to do. So, kind of like when I lost the love for music for a little while and I was filming, you know, and I was filming for other people. I wasn't even filming for myself. And I was like, damn, the same thing I'm doing for other people, I could be doing for me. So when it kind of like, it made a way for me to reinvent myself. So I merged the videos with me doing content. Just came back about. So now it's kind of like people doing movies, people doing short films. So now I'm like, oh, I can just soundtrack my films with the music.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like what 50 doing with everything that he's doing with stars and all that kind of stuff. If you think of every theme song, whose song is it? 50's. You know what I mean?
I'm a hustler,
But it
bitch.
made sense when he said stuff like, I could soundtrack my own stuff with my own music. And I was like, oh. And then he said, when he stopped doing shows, he realized the money stops. He said, so he started getting into films. So, and the films is like autopilots. And I was like, okay, well, content is the same way. Filmmaking is the same way. And then that's how it just came about for me.
Would you be acting?
I can do a little something.
It's a renaissance.
Yeah, I can do a little something. I'm trying to get into the short film thing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just gradually just taking my time and seeing what the road take me. But again, it's just everything I do. It's within what I love doing, so it never feels like work to me.
And it's
You
all
know,
under the umbrella of the brand.
and
I feel like
it all falls under the umbrella of the brand.
because
Right,
that's literally
right,
the trajectory of artists. They're doing music and they either go and get a big endorsement and become a fashion person
right,
like Rihanna,
right,
you a whole
right,
fashion
right, right,
bubble,
right,
or they become actors. Like
right,
it's
right,
all
right.
within the same. And I hate when people try to put someone in a box and say you have to stick to this. It's like
Right.
why?
Right. Somebody's gonna like you for something, so that I give them every piece of me to make their own saying and say, okay, damn, the music might not be alright, but that film that you just did was crazy, or vice versa. So I feel like again, it's about them shots that you take. I feel like if I expose myself or be transparent with everything that I do, somebody could pull me somewhere, and then. That film thing might be the money to reinvest in my music in, or if I get put in the music lane, that music lane could be something that I reinvest in the other stuff that I'm doing. So,
Exactly.
but if I focus on that one thing, you never know. You know what I mean? It could be a hit and miss. And nah, I don't want to start from scratch. I want somebody to be like, no, let me get one of those things that you're doing.
This
Yeah.
that saying a person, what's that, a master
A
of
jack of all
all trades.
trades and a master of
Yeah,
none.
I hate
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I dance. I'm a good dancer.
Right.
I also host. I'm a good host. Like I can't help it that I'm multi hyphenate. I'm good at many things.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watching this, don't let them put you in a box.
Nah,
Do everything.
nah, don't let them put you in a box. Don't let them do it. Don't.
I know we
Unless it's
out
only
of
one
time.
thing that you do. You know what I mean? But other than that, nah.
So I know we're running out of time. My final two questions, probably kind of three.
Hmm.
What kind of legacy you want to leave behind?
The legacy I want to leave behind is I want people to remember me by the hard work that I put in. I want people to know through me, like, like this is a person that never stops. So I want to give people hope to say, yo, I could do it no matter what age you are. Even, you know, I got a daughter, so I want her to know. I never had no influence in my family that, you know, how you grow up and people say, oh, you need to be a doctor, a lawyer, you know, everybody, but nobody
It's saying,
became, yeah, but you're not that, mom or dad, or, you know, whoever. So for me, it's kind of like, you know, I want my daughter to know that here's a person in my life that never stopped, or he got what he wanted to do and he didn't let, you know, adversity or nothing stop him. So that's the legacy I want to leave behind. You know, my daughter can say, okay, because of him, I can't give up because I never saw him stop. You know what I
oh.
mean? So yeah. So
Also, what's next for you? Any upcoming projects, shows?
yeah, I'm torn between a few different. I think I sent you some music, some different styles of music. So I'm just I'm a creative person. I just make everything from Afrobeat to R&B to hip hop. So I got enough music to put music out right now, but I'm just torn between what should I put out. So I'm kind of put more focus on the R&B lane because again, there's no real R&B other than the Tanks and stuff out there. So I might just put a EP or a project out just based on baby making music.
You, I mean, Christmas coming up.
Yeah,
A Christmas album.
yeah, Christmas, yeah.
I feel like I told
Ooh,
you
that's
before.
different. Yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's different for me. But I can promise you I will have something for Valentine's Day for a fact. I will
Child,
have something for
I
Valentine's Day. Some sexy for sure.
can't- okay, last question. Describe yourself in 3 words.
uh, Passionate, motivated, and
That third word is always hard for people.
passionate, motivated, and the third one. Damn.
It's always
Passionate,
that
motivated,
last one.
passionate, motivated, and inspirational, I guess.
I'll take it.
Yeah, inspirational. Yeah,
Visit visionary.
yeah. I mean, I'm a list of things, man. Anything that's associated with positivity and growth is all me. You know, whether if it's me trying to outdo myself or me trying to push others. You know, I think that's my ultimate calling is making sure that people, you know, do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know how to not inspire people or push people, and I think that's what get me going. That's what because it's kind of like I gotta be the reflection of what it is I'm trying to tell people to do. So I think that's another calling that's
I said
probably.
I get scared when you call me. I'm like, oh my God. I'm
It's
about to
like
get
let's go,
lectured.
let's go, let's go, let's go. People can't even call me with problems because I don't know how to not give you a solution. I don't know how to let just people vent and just be a listener. I'm gonna be like, oh, you need to do that. So I'm just
It's because you said, like, people call me about problems because they think I have it all figured out. But they, like, me and you have those conversations when I'm, like, losing my
right,
mind. And I
right,
have,
right,
like, like
right,
two people who have seen me not be confident. So other people don't, and they're like, oh,
right.
I'm a, no, she can figure it out. And I can literally tell people what to do. But for myself,
Right. And it be like that sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes it be like that for me. I'm like, damn, I gave him all that advice and what the fuck am I about to do? Yeah. So it be like
like, girl, I'm not even doing that, but it'll
yeah,
work for you.
yeah. It be like that sometimes, man. I just kick my own self in the ass. That's the only thing that keeps me going. But like I said, I get those down moments. Remember, I think we talked about me having a down week one time, and I was like, damn, like what am I gonna do? But we all have them. I don't care how much of a hard worker you are, you're gonna have those moments where you're down. So, but it's about how long you're gonna stay down. So you
And
don't
I
want to
know
stay
it's
down too long.
cliche. People be like, be resilient, but that's really what it is. Like you
Right.
really just have to push yourself.
You got to push
However you need
yourself.
to push yourself, fine. And sometimes pushing yourself means taking a break.
Right. And I had to learn that. I used to then take breaks at all, whether if it's from anything. You got to give your body rest. You got to listen to your body. You know, you got to listen to what it's telling you, and those breaks be necessary. You know, that
Mm-hmm.
separation. Sometimes just cutting the world off. You know, sometimes you got to isolate too. I had to
I
isolate.
love
People might,
it.
yeah,
I
people was
love it.
thinking I was cutting them off. I was like, nah, I was getting my shit together.
I love isolation. Like, what's going on with you, girl? I'll speak to you like 2 months. Let me.
Right. It's not
Well,
personal. This is a me thing. I need me right now.
well, thank you so much John, for coming on my
Oh
show.
yeah, oh yeah. Anytime. Thank you for having me, your first artist. I
Yes,
appreciate
my
that.
first
Yeah,
artist. I think you are so talented.
yeah, I appreciate that.
Always push me, and I'm just like, I need him to come on here because I know he has something to share for people,
Right.
especially artists, because I know artists when I go to showcases who, and even if you're doing R&B, like mostly rappers be talking to me, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
they need to hear from someone who's actively doing music. Like you
Right.
have to do the work, you have to be resilient, you have to push yourself,
Right.
and you need to utilize social media.
Yeah,
I think that's the big thing I want
yeah.
from the interview.
I would
It's like
tell anybody, man, that's listening or that's gonna listen later, just push out content as much as you can, believe in yourself as much as you can, and don't let nobody tell you no. It's just that simple. So,
period. Now tell you
period.
where to find you. YouTube, all of that.
All that. Every platform, even Pinterest. I'll be on Pinterest sometimes. Just posting my fashion stuff. Listen, I post everywhere. I don't care. YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Facebook. You gonna find me. I'm there.
And yeah, John
Down
LGM
LGM,
on
right?
all platforms,
On
y'all.
all platforms.
And
All
for
platforms.
producers who might tune in, want to send you some music.
I need that. You can send it to my email address. It's Johnell, Johnell's Music, JohnNalMusic. MUSIC, man, at gmail.com. I need beats. So if you know anybody that got beats that from in the R&B lane, I need it like yesterday. You know, trap soul, real baby making music, that real 90s feel. You know, I need that.
I
So,
love this. Thank you
oh
so
yeah,
much for coming on.
oh yeah, I'm here. I appreciate it.
Have a
How
good
you
night.
too.